Today on Commander Replay, Aurelia is about to drop the hammer and dispense some indiscriminate justice. Find out who gets the gavel next on Commander Replay. Hey guys, I want to take this chance to thank my awesome Patreons. We have a new Most Awesome Legendary Angel tier subscriber in Dylan Highsmith. I want to thank Dylan. Dylan's been playing since the Tarkir block and is now mostly a Magic Online player, so I hope to jam some games with him in the future. If you guys want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Aurelia, Exemplar of Justice. We kept a hand that looks like this, got 4 lands, some other cool stuff. Let's play the tap land. I guess we should have played the Myriad Landscape. No, never mind. Myriad Landscape is colorless. We'll get we'll get the Misspell Plains right here, I guess. So the Ramos opponent is a fan of the channel and is concerned that I'm going to go infinite with Sunforger at some point. I assured them that there's no infinite combos with Sunforger in this deck. We can loop things with the Misspell Plains, but we're not running the infinite turn combo with Angel's Grace and the take an extra turn, you lose the game spells. So Selenia passes their turn, discards a swamp? Weird. It seems like a mistake. If you're going to do something like that, it would probably be like a creature and reanimate? Huh. Yeah, maybe they have 6 their turn. Anyway, right here, let's lay down the plateau, get the Boros Swiftblade. Opponent's asking if they did that intentionally, or if that was, if they got MTGO'd. That does happen. I'm pretty good about that sort of stuff, but even in the 160-odd videos that I've done, every once in a while, I will F6 a turn. So, Sakura Tribe Elder for the Ramos. So as I mentioned, we're playing Aurelia, Exemplar of Justice, 2 red-white for a 2/5, flying, and mentor. At the beginning of combat in your turn, choose up to 1 target creature you control. Until end of turn, that creature gets +2/+0, gains trample if it's red, and vigilance if it's white. And we'll be facing off today against Ramos Dragon Engine, always a scary deck. Selenia Dark Angel, could be a few interesting things. Could be like a Black-White Angel Reanimator. Could be the Life Gains Shenanigan deck that we played a couple weeks ago. And probably some other stuff as well. And then finally we have Selvala Explorer Return. Selvala goes infinite really easily, which is kind of annoying. Pretty good commander, but will get us some card draw in the process, so that's at least a nice thing. We draw into this Tajik Blade of the Legion. The question right here is, do we go Tapland, or do we play untap? Let's go tap land right here so we can get Aurelia next turn. That seems like it makes sense. We'll get in for 2 on the Selenia. So with this deck, we're running most of the 2-mana rocks. The question I'm having is, how important is it to run literally all of the 2-mana rocks? AKA, how important is it to get Aurelia down on turn 3 versus turn 4? That's a question that I'd like to answer at some point. I'm still not exactly sure. Some games, the difference between turn 3 and turn 4 can be pretty big, especially if someone's got a lot of acceleration. Things in this game can escalate pretty quickly. Luckily, things seem to be a bit slower, although Selvala, if they hit a lot of mana, things can get out of hand pretty quickly, and so that's a thing. Anyway, Solemn Simulacrum coming down for the Ramos opponent. They will get a land. There's a tap land for the Selenia. There's a bounce land for the Selenia. Not great when you haven't cast anything yet. It's gonna be a little awkward for them. They're gonna have to discard something else to hand size. Not really where you want to be. So, Selvala is going to trigger. Luckily, it only gets 1 mana. We do draw a land. Lands are always good. Coat of Arms. What? Oh, not a human. It's an elf. Bummer. What is this Selvala deck doing? That's interesting. Never seen Coat of Arms in a Selvala deck. Oh, maybe it's elf tribal? Yeah, maybe elves. I guess that would make sense. Anyway, we draw an Enlightened Tutor. Try to use that next turn. Put a stop on our upkeep right here so that we don't forget to do that. And cast our Aurelia. And so this turn we'll actually be able to use the 3rd ability on this Boros Swiftblade, and 3/2 Trample, Vigilance, Double Strike, not bad. Send that into the Selvala. And so, I think I talked about it a little bit in the last video. The new Aurelia is not as strong as the old Aurelia. However, its power lies in the fact that it's now turn 4. We got some nice damage in out of the Double Strike creature right there. And it's a 2/5, so like, I mean, right now, no one has anything that they can profitably attack into us with. So I think there is some value in that. Also, I mean, it gave our Swiftblade Vigilance. So we have so we got some damage in. We have blockers right now. It's more of an incremental mindset. It's not Aurelia where you come down, you get 2 combat steps, and, people start dying really quickly. But when that happens, this commander, it's more subtle, it's more about small incremental advantages, and being able to attack early and defend yourself means that your opponent's life totals will be moving down a little bit, while yours should still be able to stay pretty high. Once you start getting around like turn 7, if your life total's still like 35 or higher, that's pretty good. And if your opponents are, 30 or less at that point, That's when people start thinking about alpha striking someone out of the game, and, you know, just the higher your life total is, the harder it is to alpha strike someone out. Ooh, hey, that's a Silverblade Paladin. 2 mana for the Selvala this time. There's a Luxodon Warhammer for the Selvala. Interesting. Elephant Graveyard. Is this Elephant Tribal? It is Elephant Tribal. Opponent makes an elephant. Nice. Oh, man. Brings it back to our turn. Enlightened Tutor. Let us... What do we really need? We're drawing a lot with Selvala. Let's Enlighten Tutor. Would love to kill Selvala. Umezawa's Jitte would be the card to do that, but that would still take... Oh, we'll have Double Strike off the Silverblade. So we can take down Selvala. Yeah, I like that. So, just take a quick peek at everything else we got going on. There's a Blackblade Reforged. Oh, ooh. Blackblade Reforged with Double Strike. How many lands do we have? We'll have 5 this turn. Oh, that seems pretty good. Do we move to just, like, try to shoot people out of the game? Don't know if we're going to need protection at any point either. We do have a lot of protection things like Champion's Helm in here, which is helpful. I guess I'm going to go with Umezawa's right here. Play the Plains. Do we attack with the Umezawas and get some counters down, or do we get the Double Strike going? Let's go with the Umezawas. Let's go with the Umezawas right here, just because if someone plays a board wipe on creatures, which is, you know, always a reasonably likely thing to happen, then... Oh, crap, we should have put Umezawas on the Swiftblade. Well, that was a punt. Where do we put... does Aurelia's trigger actually make sense? So if we put it on Aurelia, the Swiftblade will become a 2/2. And how much do we care about the commander damage? I think I just messed this turn up. Oops. We'll kind of just keep spreading the damage around for now. So we'll attack like that. We'll get the Mentor ability on the Boros Swiftblade. Becomes a 2/3. That was not a great usage of the Umezawa's Jitte right there, though. Tell you that. So 2 counters on the Jitte. Hopefully we don't just lose to Selvala this turn. I mean, it's a thing I've seen happen in the past. It doesn't take much. I think there's one aura that allows it to untap or something, and then it just goes infinite. It's that simple. So we get some damage into our opponents. There's Mirari's Wake. That's a little bit scary. We have an Austere command on... Oh, that's a Nicole Bolas God Pharaoh. Ew.
Identify target.
Target opponent exiles the top card of their library until they exile a non-land card and may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Alright. Well, I'm sure they'll be sorely disappointed when they do that. Yep. There's a Leon and a Bunus. There are certainly more threatening things that you can get with that. Would actually like to see another land right here. Another land means that we could go Silverblade Paladin and Insult, which would be pretty good. And if we play all of our cards right, then I don't know, that may actually be good enough to kill someone. And by play our cards right, I mean we did not play our cards right last turn. Selenia Dark Angel coming into play, so that'll give opponent a flying blocker. Opponent confirms that the turn one when they discarded the land was not intentional. That sucks for them. Selenia Dark Angel, by the way, does give Aurelia an additional power from the Coat of Arms. There's the land we're looking for, Hainware Battlements off of the Selvala. Again, have to hope that Selvala doesn't do anything super crazy this turn. Call of the Herd for our opponent, more elephants. Does mean the elephants will get bigger. They are now 4/4s. Oh, man. Tempting Licid. There's one you don't see. Essentially, it turns into a Lure. I would probably just play Lure, actually. That's going to bring it back to our turn. I think we can just kill the Ramos. We draw into a land tax, play the Hainware Battlements, Silverblade Paladin, Soul Bond. We will Soul Bond with Aurelia, because yes. So Aurelia is now a 3 with Double Strike. It'll become a 5 with its own combat ability, which means if we pump it one time with the Jitte and... Opponent says, "Good night, sweet God Pharaoh," and I said, "Yes, but not in the way that you think."
I'm about to drop the hammer and dispense some indiscriminate justice.
Here comes the Hurtin with Insult. Go to combat. Use Aurelia's ability on itself. Swing Aurelia at the Ramos opponent. And where do we send the Boros Swiftblade? We'll send it into Selena. Or do we make Selvala have to block something? Yeah, let's make Selvala block, because even if they block and do the pay 2 life thing, then it's still just a lot of mana to have to recast a 5-mana commander. So Mentor is going to trigger. Because we already did 4 damage to the Ramos, we won't even need to use our Jitte to pump Aurelia at all. So Ramos goes out of the game. They weren't particularly happy about it. It is turn 6, and we just killed a player, and we didn't even accelerate Aurelia out. We just played her on turn 4. So pretty impressive right there. Umezawa's Jitte is going to trigger. It's going to trigger again on the Double Strike, and wow. Selena just went to 18 because of the Boros Swiftblade double strike plus our damage being doubled this turn. They probably should have blocked. That's a lot of life to be given up. Now we've got a bunch of counters on this Jitte, so I think the next thing we do is shoot the Selvala, just to make sure no infinite shenanigans happen. Selvala down, and we will pass the turn like that. So yeah, we killed someone on turn 6 with no mana acceleration at all. That's not bad. The one thing to think about, though, is that we haven't seen any removal up to this point. Removal will obviously slow the plan down. We do have things in the deck to try to counteract some of that removal with Boros Charm, Teferi's Protection, Angelic Renewal, so if it dies, we can just get it right back. Also, Selfless Spirit. Again, same thing. If someone's trying to play a board wipe, we can just sack the Spirit and keep Aurelia in play so that we don't have that tempo loss. Beside the fact that Spirit's also got flying and works great with the Mentor ability on Aurelia. Revenge of the Hunted may cast it for its miracle cost. Uh-oh. So target creature is going to get +6/+6, gains Trample, and Lure. It's pretty big. We do not have enough counters to shoot that currently. Maybe we should have waited just a second on the Hujima What's It. However, what we can... it's a 10/10, you say. What we can do, we can pump Aurelia, use the first strike damage to take down that elephant before it kills all of our stuff. Gonna put the Warhammer on there, sure. We'll see if they want to come our way or not. If they recognize the Jitte play with the double strike and all that sort of stuff. Yep, coming our way. So either I hope they've got removal, or they are about to get blown out pretty badly. So declare attackers, declare blockers. We need to get to 10 damage. Right now we've got 6 on the first strike. Opponent can regenerate the elephant, but it'll be removed from combat when it dies, or when it gets regenerated. So I guess we do that. Then use the Jitte, +2/+2. And +2/+2 again. So now we've got exactly 10. Hopefully nothing crazy happens right here. They're going to regenerate it. Okay, just like we thought. Should get removed from combat when it dies and when it dies and then gets regenerated. Yep. So when a creature becomes regenerated, it taps. It's not that it matters right here because it was already attacking, but the regeneration rules are weird. When it regenerates, it does become tapped. So we just thwarted all that incoming damage. I'm sure that's not exactly what opponent was hoping to get done right there. Also, we get 2 more counters back on the Jitte, and that's going to bring it back to our turn. There's a Sun Titan. The other half of injury is not as exciting as the first one. It's 2 damage to target creature and target planeswalker. So I think that means Aurelia's got 2 counters on it. Still got double strike. It'll become a 5. We can pump it to a 10. Oh man, this might be the frustrating part of this. Oh, opponent scoops. Opponent scoops. Yep. I guess we just go to combat. Oh, we lose the coat of arms. So we're going to have a little bit less damage coming through right here than we would have otherwise. I guess we could have shot Selena, I guess, with the 2 damage thing. Whoops. So Aurelia is a 4/5. Do we attack with everything? If they block the Silverblade Paladin... if they block the Silverblade Paladin, we'll use him as Ao's Jitte. There we go. So send everyone. Gonna Mentor on the Silverblade Paladin. Actually, that works also. Just Mentor the Silverblade Paladin. Okay, so before the elephant opponent scooped, the way that we would have killed them is send in Aurelia with double strike, pump Umezawa's Jitte. When the first strike trigger hits, use one of those counters to pump again, and that would have given us enough for lethal. We're basically 1 turn ahead of schedule because they just scooped. That does mean that Selena would have had another turn to potentially draw into something helpful. So one thing to think about too, Aurelia does have Trample. As much as everyone, including myself, would really like Haste on that ability instead of Trample, Trample is very relevant. Ooh, hey, that's an utter end. Which means I think we pop off the Teferi's Protection. So I guess step 1 is crack the Myriad Landscape, get 2 planes, use the Teferi's Protection. We are now protected. And that'll fizzle all of our combat damage, but we'll be safe till next turn. Also means that sorcery speed board wipes aren't going to get there, and there are many of those in black and white, so basically we'll just try it all again next turn. Oh, Ketra's Last Mercy! Nice. Your life total becomes equal to your starting life total. Lands you control don't untap. Oof, that is a drawback. So it brings it back to our turn. Our things phase back in. We draw a Reliquary Tower, so play the Reliquary Tower. Now that we had a chance to look it over a little bit, we're going to use the insult, or we're going to use the injury part of that split card. We'll bolt opponent for 2 and bolt the Selena. So Selena's got 2 damage on it. Use a counter to shoot the Selena. Selena goes down. Would have returned it to the hand personally. Not that I think it's going to matter too much. And then I think it's just time to go to combats. Aurelia on herself. Opponent is at 37. Ooh, that is a lot of life. Aurelia is a 4/5. Swing with everything. Mentor on the Silverblade Paladin is more likely to die to spot removal, so we'll go with the Swift Blade right here. See if opponent wants to respond during the first go-round. Doesn't look like it. Use our 1 counter. Get some first strike damage in. Umezawa's Jitte is going to get some counters on it. Crap, I meant to do that differently. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I guess it's not enough to be... I guess it wasn't really enough to be lethal. 5 mana. Play the land tax right here. We can Mistveil Plains the Enlightened Tutor if we need to. Opponent's lands don't untap. Yep, that's probably GG. So opponent scoops it up. That is the game. Like I said, 1 turn ahead of schedule because of the opponent scooping, which means that we would have killed everyone at the table on turn 9 with no acceleration. Now, decks like this will get picked apart by spot removal, which is why we'd like to have some of the things to protect Aurelia from spot removal. Things I've talked about a little bit, the Selfless Spirit, Angelic Renewal, Champion's Helm. Oh, this deck needs a, what's that card? Gift of Immortality. I think that really wants to be in this deck. But yeah, Aurelia Exemplar of Justice, Equipment Voltron. Just, you get an equipment out there, you start stacking up double strike and start stacking up double damage, and people will start dying very quickly. This is definitely a more optimal build than the one that I ran out there a few days ago, where I kind of just threw something together real quick and tried to go at it. So this is a very solid choice for a Voltron deck. Like I said, it comes into play much faster than the original Aurelia. For some reason, my zoom isn't working when I'm in this menu. But yeah, it comes into play much faster than the original Aurelia. It just means that you can start setting things up so much sooner. It is tough to get the original Aurelia into play quickly. If you get her down on turn 5 or turn 6, your opponents are already probably starting to do some big stuff, so you're a little bit behind the curve. Where new Aurelia comes down nice and quick, they might still be in the just playing ramp and card draw part of the game, and you can start getting that damage in. That means that they have to react to what you're doing instead of trying to further their own plans, so... That is what I think the strength of this deck will be. Again, I think it's going to get ripped apart by spot removal. Board wipes probably also a big issue, whereas the original Aurelia is pretty good against board wipes because when everyone loses your stuff, you just recast your commander, keep getting damage in. No big deal. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.